точки опоры для глобальной безопасности, то, о чем мы говорили, удерживая ядерный баланс. И Индия должна ценить вклад России в мировую стабильность.
Well, it will be interesting to see how it pans out, because oil might get cheaper with President Trump coming in and announcing that America would start selling oil. Thank you so much, Mr. Kiselev, for this very interesting conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates: IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
Some updates coming in right now, because the statement which is out, viewers, statement from Deputy Clerk of Privy Council and National Security and Intelligence Advisor to the Prime Minister has come out with a statement, and there's no proof of PM Modi and Jaishankar, External Affairs Minister's role in internal matters. And I want to go across to my colleague, Senior Executive Editor Abhishek Kapoor, joining us on the phone line. Abhishek, a very big statement coming in right now, and this is at the backdrop of the diplomatic row that we have been seeing between India and Canada, and this statement definitely is showing what we have been saying for a while, that Canada has absolutely refused to give proof of the allegations that they have put. All right, Abhishek, we go across to our colleague Abhishek Kapoor as Senior Executive Editor, but this is a big statement coming in right now where very clearly no proof of PM Modi and Jaishankar's role in internal matters. Now, remember, Canada has given sent a lot of allegations, and this is on the Niger killing, where Justin Trudeau's government has issued this clarification. Okay. The government of Canada has not stated, nor is it aware of linking PM Modi to the serious criminal activity within Canada. This is a big statement coming in, given the fact the allegations Canada and Justin Trudeau has been putting on India. Abhishek.
Yes, Shivangi. So this is somebody at the junior level cleaning up the mess created by the top levels of the Canadian establishment and issuing this clarification after a very motivated leak that was carried by Globe and Mail newspaper in Toronto, which suggested that whatever happened in the Niger episode, Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself was privy to it, which obviously it was not. And this is clearly one more episode in the ongoing diplomatic standoff and escalation that has been forced by the Canadians. Remember, this comes parallelly on a day when the Canadian establishment has refused security to Indian diplomatic staff within Canada Police or RCMP premises to carry out consular services for the Indian diaspora. So obviously, there is someone out there in Toronto, in Ottawa, who wants to completely wreck this relationship, even the people-to-people connection, and that's why all these things are happening. This clarification that has come obviously had to come because earlier we have seen how there was another motivated leak planted in a newspaper in United States suggesting that Union Home Minister Amit Shah was privy to all these developments connected with Nijjar killing. And now, someone perhaps pushed the envelope and dragged Prime Minister Modi's name also. This is clearly an attempt at completely finishing off whatever little remains now India-Canada relationship. And that's why I think someone at the junior level perhaps thought that maybe some window has to be left open. And that's why this statement from the Privy Council office suggesting that, and clarifying that there is no question whatsoever of they having any information that either Prime Minister Modi or External Affairs Minister Jaishankar or National Security Advisor Ajit Doval knew anything about what was happening insofar as Nijjar episode is concerned.
That is right. And we also have seen, Abhishek, that India and thus the MEA has again and again has said that the Canadian report claiming PM Modi was aware of the plot to kill Sikh separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar was a smear campaign, and this is what the MEA is saying. And now, finally, we are seeing the statement coming in from the Deputy Clerk of the Privy Council and the National Security and Intelligence Advisor to the Prime Minister. What do you think, Abhishek, has led to this kind of U-turn? Why is Canada making these kind of allegations, and now we see a statement which is completely opposite to what Canada was initially saying?
Well, we have to, be a little cautious, Shivangi, I believe, in terms of actually reading a U-turn in what has happened. Remember, Prime Minister Modi was in Rio de Janeiro just a few days back, and to participate in the G20 summit. Justin Trudeau was there, and not even a shake hand happened. There is a clip going viral which shows that Justin Trudeau, extends his hand, and the Prime Minister makes it clear that there is no question of having a truck with him, and looks the other way, obviously because a message has to be sent to the Canadians at large that their leader is hell-bent on ruining a very beautiful relationship otherwise. And the manner in which the Khalistani elements have been given safe haven and space to operate. The latest example of which was the physical violence they carried out against the Hindu community in Brampton. Is a clear example of how Justin Trudeau has gone about completely ruining this India-Canada relationship, and the message had to be sent. I think this escalation of dragging Prime Minister's name was certain crossing of Rubicon, and perhaps till the time at least that Justin Trudeau occupies office in Ottawa, it's unlikely that there would be any walking backwards in the road downhill that the two nations have gone over the last few years, and particularly last one and a half years. So it's still early to say whether this is a U-turn. Maybe some junior level officer, the deputy clerk or a deputy minister decided that maybe some window has to be left open for a salvage, and that's why this clarification coming.
Right. Thank you, Abhishek, for joining us with all those details. After India slammed the Canada report on Nijjar murder plot and called it absolutely ludicrous, we are seeing that Canada has now issued a statement saying there's no link between the Nijjar murder plot and PM Modi or External Affairs Minister Jaishankar being involved in internal matters of Canada. That's a very big story we're tracking. We will take a very short break right now because we're getting back-to-back updates. Do not go anywhere, viewers. We will continue being live and breaking from now onwards.
structural reforms are important, but very often these process reforms are ignored. More often than not, the changes are very simple to do, and I think we can do hundreds of them, and the benefits of doing them is something that will eventually get us to Viksit Bharat.
We are going to witness a massive kind of expansion in the economy and the markets, and even culturally. So this is just the beginning of a very huge uptrend for the country.
How one can really look at upskilling and really making them relevant for the type of jobs which are available. That's what's been given a lot of emphasis both by the industry, and I would also see the government really giving a major focus on upskilling and reskilling.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates: IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
Director, the taste of success.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates: IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
शिंदे असतील, देवेंद्र फडणवीस असेल, मी असेल किंवा माझे सगळे सहकारी असतील, आपण ती योजना चांगल्या प्रकारे राबवू शकतो.
लेक लाडकी लखपती योजना देणारे पहिलं सरकार.
तुम्हाला माहिती आहे, शिंदे साहेब बोलतात तर
एक तुफान आले महाराष्ट्रामध्ये, भगवं वादळ आलेले.
मग पहिल्यांदा मराठा आणि ब्राह्मण वाद सुरू केला आणि आता मराठा आणि ओबीसी वाद सुरू केला. आपण आणून कुठे बसवलं आहे ना जातीत.
धुळ्यामध्ये ते वोट जिहाद करतायत, वोट जिहाद.
अमरावती वालों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Trudeau government issues a statement on nature killing, says no role of Prime Minister Modi, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and NSA Dowell in internal matters. After Adani US indictment, YSRCP debunks claims regarding solar panel deal with Adani, says no role of Adani in deal mentioned by the US. With 24 hours to go for the Mahavir verdict, MVA holds back-to-back meetings. Sources suggest MVA in touch with independent candidates. Supreme Court to hear the demand of the Hindu side to transfer all Gyanvapi linked cases from the lower court to the higher court. India forced to stop consular services as Canada refuses to provide security even in police premises. 2611 plotter Tahavur Rana's resorts to last legal recourse, moves top court, US top court against extradition to India. Putin issues fresh new warning to the NATO, warns UK and US against supplying arms to Ukraine.
The decision of the International Court in The Hague is a modern Dreyfus trial. It is falsely accusing me, the democratically elected Prime Minister of the State of Israel, and Israel's former Defense Minister, Yoav Gallant, of deliberately targeting civilians.
Netanyahu terms arrest warning by International Criminal Court anti-Semitic move. US rallies behind the Israeli Prime Minister. And we begin first up with the latest that's coming in on the statement that's been issued by the YSRCP clarifying on the charges that have been made against the state government, debunking the US indictment against the Adani Group. The statement that's been issued by the YSRCP in which the party states that the allegations made on the state government in light of the indictment are incorrect, and that the power sale agreement that was signed on 1st of December 2021 between SECI and AP Discoms, this after the CESRC approval as well, adding that it is necessary to mention that SECI is a Government of India enterprise. There is no direct agreement between Andhra Pradesh Discoms and any other entities, including those belonging to the Adani Group. Let's go across to Aneri, who has more details. Aneri, once again, if you can take us through that statement that's been issued by the YSRCP-1, and also if you can tell us more about the solar panel deal which is being talked about.
Well, that's right, Samisha. What we have been seeing is that amid the Adani roar, which has been going on all across the country, and also at the same time, we see how Congress party and Rahul Gandhi has been hitting out. But also at the same time, when now we talk about the Andhra Pradesh, state of Andhra Pradesh, where we see that there was a deal which took place on the 1st of December 2021. That means during Jagan Mohan Reddy's regime. But now YSRCP has come out with a statement saying that they have not signed any Adani Group. Basically, there was a deal which was signed with the Government of India enterprise, and there's no role of Adani Group in it. But now also at the same time, they also continue to state that the allegations which have been made against the YSRCP is incorrect, is what they have to say. But also we have been seeing how there has been a massive war of words, because now YSRCP comes out with a statement saying that they do not have any role in it. They are the allegations made against them are incorrect, and also the deal which was signed was between the Government of India enterprise, where Adani Group was not a part of that, is what they have to say. But also at the same time, we have been seeing that there was a deal of the power solar which had taken place, and there were meetings as well which were taking place that time.
All right, Aneri, we leave it at that. In fact, we have a statement also that's coming in from the US. A day after a US indictment against the Adani Group, the statement that's now coming in from the White House saying that the matter has now been referred to the US Security and Exchange Commission. And this while the White House press secretary responded to reporters' question, emphasizing on the strong ties between the US and India, reiterating that the matter should be directed to the SEC, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission in US, for specifics. While avoiding detailed comments on the charges against Adani, she expressed confidence that the US-India relationship remains robust. So White House not directly taking those specifics that were put regarding the US indictment against the Adani Group. The White House press secretary who says that the matter, the question, beg your pardon, should be asked from the US Security and Exchange Commission. Listen into that statement.
Obviously, we're aware of these allegations, and I would have to refer you to the SEC and DOJ about the specifics of those allegations against the Adani Group. What I will say is, on the U.S. and India relationship, we believe that it's stands on an extremely strong foundation, anchored in ties between our people and cooperation across a full range of global issues, and so. What we believe and we're confident about is that we'll continue to navigate this issue as we have with other issues that may have come up, as you just stated. And so the specifics of this is something that SEC and DOJ can speak to directly. But again, we believe that this relationship between India and the U.S. has been built on a strong foundation.
And crackdown on terror continues across J&K. These are anti-terror operations which are being carried out in several locations across Kashmir. So a crackdown against terror associates in the valley. Multiple anti-terror operations which are said to be underway since early morning. So details coming in that at least 9 anti-terror operations are underway across Kashmir. It's a crackdown on terror associates. Let's try and see if Arawat is through, but these are the details that we are picking up. Sketchy details for now about the specifics of this anti-terror operation. But security grid that's been heightened at the border locations while crackdown continues on terror associates across Kashmir. So specific intel inputs that were received by the forces, after which anti-terror operations, at least 9, that are currently underway in Kashmir as we speak. Let's go across to Arawat. We will just go across to Arawat in a bit. But specific intel, like we told you, was received by the forces, by the J&K police and the central forces, after which a major crackdown is currently underway at several locations. Let's go across to Arawat, who has more details. Arawat, what do we know so far about these early morning anti-terror operations which are underway in Kashmir?
Yeah, absolutely, Samiksha. If we'll talk about the last couple of days, we have seen that the crackdown on the terrorist associates, and we have also seen that the active terrorists have also been arrested by the security forces during the joint operation. After that, we have seen that multiple anti-terror operations were underway from the North Kashmir, Central Kashmir, and the South Kashmir.
Arawat, I will have to cut you short, but the news break we are tracking this hour is the statement that's coming in from the Trudeau government, clearly on the back foot, saying that there is no role whatsoever of the Prime Minister, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and NSA Ajit Doval in crime. This comes after Trudeau government has been alleging that Prime Minister Modi, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and NSA were indirectly involved in Nijjar's case, the Khalistani extremist leader. A statement that's now coming in from the Canadian government, the statement that's been made by the National Security and Intel Advisor to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, reading out that detailed statement that's been put out, which says on 14th of October, because of a significant and ongoing threat to public safety, the RCMP and officials took the extraordinary step of making public accusations of serious criminal activity in Canada perpetrated by agents of the Government of India, adding that the Government of Canada has not stated nor is it aware of evidence linking Prime Minister Modi, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar or NSA Ajit Doval to serious criminal activity within India. So that's the first admission that is coming in from the Trudeau government, that clearly there is no evidence to back the bogus claims that Trudeau has been making regarding role of the Indian government in Nijjar's killing. So amid the pressure that has also been mounting on Justin Trudeau regarding these bogus, baseless charges that the country has been making, it's the admission that's now coming from the Canadian government saying that there is clearly no evidence to back the claims regarding Khalistani extremist leader Nijjar's killing. That statement that's coming from the Canadian government, statement that's been issued by the National Security and Intel Advisor to Justin Trudeau, who says that there is no Modi link to the crimes. Remember, all of this comes after there were several media reports, the Canadian media reports that did the rounds, alleging a role of Indian agents, quote unquote, in the case of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, the Khalistani extremist leader who was shot dead in Surrey last year in the month of June. So clearly Justin Trudeau, who is on the back foot in this case, having issued a statement admitting that there is clearly no link whatsoever of the Indian agents in Khalistani leader's killing in Surrey last year. And let's now shift focus to the big story that we've been tracking from the US, the Adani stocks that nosedived after the US indictment against the Adani Group. Take a look at this report for more details.
The US Department of Justice has indicted Gautam Adani, the founder of Adani Group, his nephew Sagar Adani, and other senior Adani Green officials. Adani Group has been accused of allegedly offering bribes of $265 million to Indian state government officials to get them to sign solar power contracts, while raising money for the same projects in the US by promising that the company abided by anti-bribery laws. Reacting to the development, the Adani Group came out with a statement categorically denying all allegations and maintaining that it has upheld all regulatory compliance across jurisdictions in accordance to the law. Back in India, after the indictment, opposition parties led by Rahul Gandhi attacked and demanded Adani's arrest.
जहां भी करप्शन है वहां पे इन्वेस्टिगेशन होनी चाहिए, मगर इन्वेस्टिगेशन अदानी जी से शुरू होगी और जब तक अदानी जी अरेस्ट नहीं होंगे तब तक क्रेडिबल बात नहीं बनेगी। तो शुरुआत वहां से है, अदानी जी को अरेस्ट कीजिए, उनका इंटेरोगेशन कीजिए और फिर जो भी इसमें इन्वॉल्व है पकड़िए।
BJP in its sharp retort hit back at Rahul over his allegations. BJP claimed that Congress is trying to tarnish the image of government at the international level.
हमें भी पता है आपके स्ट्रक्चर के विषय में, ये इल्हान ओमर और ये जॉर्ज सोरोस, ये जो आपका स्ट्रक्चर है ना, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्ट्रक्चर, इस स्ट्रक्चर के विषय में हमें भी पता है और आपके स्ट्रक्चर का नियत क्या है। आपकी जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्ट्रक्चर है वो भारतवर्ष के मार्केट के ऊपर आघात करना चाहती है, निरंतर आघात करती रहती है।
While speaking exclusively to the Republic, senior lawyer Mahesh Jethmalani slammed Rahul Gandhi for speaking the same language as George Soros. Listen in.
Please see
the entire ecosystem. What is Soros's main theory? Open society. He wants borderless countries, right? Who are the people in this country who are opposing CAA? Who are the people in this country who every time approach the Supreme Court for settlement of Rohingya refugees in India? It's the same thing in America. And the ideological counterparts, it's the less liberal lobby headed by the Congress party.
But the bigger question remains, does the timing of the latest episode raise questions about the Adani indictment? And in a hurry to target Adani, is the opposition playing into the hands of those who want to challenge the rise of Bharat? Is there more to this?
Now, with less than 24 hours to go for the Maharashtra verdict, getting in a lead from the state, we are now given to understand that the Maha Vikas Aghadi is in touch with independent candidates. This after the exit polls have projected that the Maha UT could get somewhere around 160 seats in the 288 assembly seats in the state. So looks like the Maha Vikas Aghadi is jittery. With just less than 24 hours to go for the polls, it has held late night meetings. It is reaching out to independent candidates as well. So remains to be seen whether the Maha Vikas Aghadi will be able to rope in the independents and will they be able to strike or reach the number that is required to form government in Maharashtra. So note, this comes with the revolt in the Maha Vikas Aghadi that has been widening. Nana Patole, the Maharashtra Congress chief, who maintains that if the MVA forms government, it will be the Congress leading the MVA, which has not gone down too well with the Uddhav Thackeray faction. So the Maha Vikas Aghadi that is jittery ahead of the Maharashtra verdict, it is reaching out to independent candidates. Let's take a look at this report, which gives us a sense of what has happened in the state in the last 24 hours.
With the conclusion of assembly polls in Maharashtra, fresh drama seems to be brewing for the Maha Vikas Aghadi. The state's Congress chief Nana Patole and Shiv Sena UBT MP Sanjay Raut got into a war of words over the chief ministerial face of the party. While this raises questions over a drift within the party, the two leaders expressed confidence that MVA will take power in the state. The discord began after Patole's assertion over Congress's leadership in government was faced by opposition from Raut. Previously, the parties have also experienced divisions over seat allocation. Although an agreement was eventually reached over extensive discussions, the question of who would lead the government remained unresolved.
Alright, so those are the developments from late last night. The visuals on your screens of... Alright, these are file visuals, beg your pardon, but just a quick recap from the state of Maharashtra. There have been back-to-back late-night meetings of the Maha Vikas Aghadi. And that meeting came just hours after the Congress said that MVA government will be formed under the Grand Old Party, something which has not gone down too well with the UBT faction. And as we speak, sources tell us that the MVA has reached out to independent candidates in the state. And shifting focus to international news that we are tracking, this one on the crisis, the conflict in the Middle East. Netanyahu, who's issued a statement after a criminal warrant was issued against him by the International Criminal Court of Justice. Netanyahu says that the arrest warrant, the move that has that has come in is nothing but an anti-Semitic move by the International Criminal Court. We get you the details in this next report.
After the International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his former defense minister Yoav Gallant. Denouncing the move, Israel was quick to reject the warrant in a statement issued by Netanyahu's office. Meanwhile, Jordan's foreign minister Ayman Safadi, on the other hand, asserted that the move to issue the warrants must be respected and implemented.
قرارات المحكمة الجنائية الدولية يجب أن تحترم ويجب أن تنفذ. هذه مؤسسة دولية ثمة التزام باحترام قراراتها من كل الدول الأعضاء فيها، والدول الأعضاء في المحكمة هم 124 دولة، وبالتالي كل هذه الدول ملزمة باحترام هذا القرار. الشعب الفلسطيني يستحق العدالة. المؤسسات القانونية وجدت لتحاسب ولتلبي متطلبات العدالة، وبالتالي لابد من التعامل مع هذا القرار باحترام.
EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell too continued in the chorus.
As I said before, the tragedy in Gaza has to stop. And now I will be very sober in my comment. It is not a political decision. It is a decision of a court of justice, of the International Court of Justice. And the decision of the court has to be respected and implemented. So I take note of the decision of the International Criminal Court to issue arrest warrants from Prime Minister Netanyahu, the former Minister of Defense Mr. Gallant, and the Hamas leaders, Dave.
The International Criminal Court is accusing Netanyahu and Gallant and the Hamas officials of war crimes and crimes against humanity over the war in Gaza.
And let's put out newsbreak that's coming in from Jammu, where 34 illegal structures have been demolished by the officials. These are the details coming in from Jammu. We'll try and put out those visuals as well, where demolished structures being taken down can be seen. These are all illegal structures that have been razed to the ground by the officials. These structures were rented out illegally by Kashmiri Pandits. They've been demolished after 10 months of serving notice to illegal occupants. So these are properties that apparently belonged to the Kashmiri Pandits in this area, which have been demolished by the officials. An order that's been passed by Omar Abdullah government. The visuals that show the razed structures where the Kashmiri Pandits had been residing for last many years. 34 structures which the government says were illegal have been razed to the ground in Jammu. Let's go across to Gursimran, who is getting us more details. Gursimran, we understand that Kashmiri Pandits had been living in these properties for last many years, which have been razed to the ground by the officials.
Samiksha, what the Jammu and Kashmir government has said that this property was illegally in possession of the Kashmiri Pandit community. Reason being that they were accommodated, they were rehabilitated to the various camps in the Jagti area and the Purku area. And what they have done that was also illegal, that they have rented it further to those stakeholders that have no say when it comes to the allocation of this area. And they said the Jammu Development Authority has said that as part of the union government scheme to provide the 1 BHK accommodation to the economic weaker section in Jammu region, 208 flats were to be built in this very area. And for the same, they have demolished these 34 structures that were in place. What they went on to say that in January 2024, 20th of January it was, notice was served for the evacuation that they leave this place because this is being illegally occupied, as they have been rehabilitated to the other areas. But despite that fact, they have rented it to the non-domicile holders and as well as to other people. That is totally against the allocation of the property to the migrants that comes under the government of Jammu and Kashmir. So this was in the violation of the norms not only of the Jammu Development Authority but also of the government of Jammu and Kashmir when it comes to the allocation of the properties to the migrants in Jammu and Kashmir to live in. And then what has happened that after 10 months of the notice being served to them, their shops and the structures have been demolished by the Jammu Development Authority, and now the JDA says that they will be building a total of 208 flats, for which the process has already been initiated. So as per the Jammu and Kashmir government, this was against the basic structure of the accommodation being given to the migrant community by the government of Jammu and Kashmir, that they have to live themselves on that land, not to rent it out to someone else who has no say on that. And that is why this action has been taken, keeping in view the multiple notices that have been served to them over the last 10 months.
All right, Gursimran, thank you for getting us these details. For now, we head into a very short break. More news breaks lined up after we come back.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates: IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
Viewers, top headlines we're tracking right now. Trudeau government issues a lot of new updates. Statement on Niger killing says role of PM Modi, Jay Shankar and NSA Doval in internal matters. After Adani US indictment, CP debunks claims regarding solar panel deal with Adani, says no role of Adani in deal mentioned by the US. Within 24 hours to go. Now for the Maharashtra verdict, the MVA holds back-to-back meetings. Sources suggest MVA in touch with independents. Supreme Court to hear the demand of the Hindu side to transfer all Gyanvapi linked cases from the lower court to the high court. India forced to stop consular services as Canada refuses to provide security even in police premises. 2611 plotter